I wanted to start by asking you sort of what WWF's strategy is around partnerships. How do you think about partners? How do you decide who to partner with? Are there folks that you won't partner with, certain industries, et cetera, that you just feel wouldn't be good for the brand or aren't working on things where there's alignment?
So our overall strategy really does emphasize how we work with companies, how we work with multilateral organizations, because we see our role as a convener, we see our role as a trusted advisor. We're science-based in the work we do, and so that I think helps bring overall credibility to us as an organization, NGOs broadly as a sector. You had asked about are there companies or different types of organizations with whom we don't work. So the Global Partnerships Committee puts together what we term a gray list, and so those are organizations with whom we're really discouraged from engaging. Those are organizations that have primary function focus on things like mining and oil, tobacco, pornography, certain industries certain activities that we can't condone, and we can't look beyond that as their main activity to maybe do a water or some other benefit somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. There's lots of different types of partnerships. At WWF, it sounds like you do a pretty deep engagement with the partners that you're doing, and not just sort of a one-off on one issue. We also are increasingly seeing sort of partnership platforms where you're bringing together a lot of people, sometimes all in the same industry, sort of a pre-competitive environment, which can be hard for the private sector, obviously. And we're also seeing sort of the tension, I think, between local and global partnerships that might be put together here in DC or in Europe, and those that might be put together on the ground or happening on the ground. At WWF, how do you sort of manage that partnership that's created at the top, but ensuring sort of the implementation and partnerships that are happening on the ground, and maybe with more local actors as well?
So one aspect of how we function is we have goals team. We went through a reorg about a year ago, and as part of that, we created goals teams because that's really how the world sees us. They see us as freshwater, focusing on freshwater issues, how to maintain freshwater ecosystems, looking at forestry, marine ecosystems, climate. We do have plenty of partnerships that may be owned by one of those goals teams, and they continue to do that. For us on the private sector team, what we do is try to look across that. And so when you're talking about the pre-competitive space and multi-sectoral approach, I think that's where we have a different and unique vantage point of being able to tie those many pieces together that any one silo, for lack of a better term, might have seen otherwise. But we are such a hyper-local group because we have this network effect. We have this broad network. We're activated in over 100 countries. We have offices in about 80 of them, and then we also have regional offices. So because we're on the ground, we're working with locals in that space that are WWF employees, and that strong brand helps permeate from the headquarters in DC all the way down to the field work that's happening. And at the field level, you're talking the language of science, or we're helping to talk the language of business, and that's where it works. And that's why the Coca-Cola partnership is so strong, because they have the same practice of being a global brand that works very locally.